the real deal.
What's up, real dealers, and welcome to anyone that's new to the channel. Consider hitting that subscribe button because here we're always pumping out some fire airsoft builds. And that brings me to the point of this video. We have a really spicy build video, but it's not just a standard V2 M4. We got something different. We got something from across the seas now, across the world. We got a Russian boomstick. So in this video, we're going to discuss how this Russian boomstick grew a nice dong and how it became the real dealer cheek clapper. All right, guys, so without any further ado, let's hop right into this build. Disclaimer for YouTube, everything in this video is an airsoft replica, nothing is real, and airsoft replicas and paintball guns alike should be handled professionally in safe environmons. Real deal. Что ты делаешь? Real deal. Building cheek clappers. I don't think he called his hit. Let's mag dumble. Real deal. Call your hit, boy. Russian rap. Russian boomstick. So what's the base on this build? It's an LCT AK. LCT has some of the best externals. The internals are, you know, they're stock. I'm not gonna say that they're the best, but they're definitely not dookie. They're definitely not bad. And the thing that we love about LCT is its weight, its feel, its finish. The receiver is beautiful. The wood furniture is real wood. Everything about it is as real as it can possibly get for airsoft. Shout out to Jimmy, aka the Viking from the Airsoft Pro League, aka AK Mafia and AK Boss. Check him out on Instagram. He's a really cool guy and he loves his AKs, man. He really does. He's also a real steel shooter.
Everybody going down.
And he's from down south. He used to live up here where I'm from, but he moved down south and now he's able to enjoy things like this. We'll talk about some build specs. One, the gearbox. All right, so what to expect when installing a Polestar jack like we have in here into an LCT AK gearbox. Good luck taking the gears out. So they like press the gears into the bearings, which makes it very difficult to remove it. It's insane, but it's all good. Since we're going HPA, we're ripping everything out of the gearbox, dropping in the Polestar jack. Something to note about the Polestar jack, there's a little screw cut out to secure the board to the gearbox. But with LCT, there's no threaded screw to screw it into. So you're left with two options. One, glue the board to the gearbox, which a lot of people do, but come on, we're the real deal. I tapped my own little screw hole and secured it into the gearbox. So I tapped a hole, threaded it, and basically I created my own thread for a screw. So AK Boss, your trigger board is mounted the real deal way, all right? So don't come after me, it's not glued in, it's never gonna come loose, all right? That's what I recommend to do. I tapped and threaded my own screw to mount the trigger board for this build. Being that it's an AK, the trigger is trash. Like, it's very difficult to find adjustable triggers. There are some brands. I hear that Aztec is coming out with one, but I don't have it right now, and we don't really have readily available access to it. But the AK Boss found this beautiful speed trigger. I believe he got it on e-bike. This speed trigger gives it an amazing feel, and the trigger pull is a little bit shorter than what it would be stock, but it's not tunable. What I did to protect the over travel is I actually installed a little foam pad behind the trigger so that we don't over press the micro switch on this Polestar trigger board. That's one thing that I'm very conscious about with HPA builds, is not over pressing the trigger, because you could damage it. It's just a micro switch. These things have lifespans and they're a mechanical part which could get damaged. So that's just something to note, something to think about. What hop unit do we have in this thing? We have a Combat Union steel CNC'd hop unit. This thing's expensive and it does not drop into the LCT AK outer barrel. It doesn't. All right, you have to significantly modify the outer barrel. What I did was I took files, sandpaper, and Dremels to reduce the inner diameter of the outer barrel to slide this combat hop unit in, because it's a chunky boy. It's thick, it's no joke. Like, I have another one on my wall and I'll show you guys that. If you're considering doing something like this for yourself, taking an LCT, doing a Polestar jack, doing that whole scenario, just be ready for two problems. One, trigger board mounting, glue it, tap your own screw. And the other problem is the hop unit. So you can use any other hop unit you want. Lonex makes some, Retro makes some, go with whatever you want. But if you want to replicate what the real deal did with a Combat Union hop, prepare to heavily modify your outer barrel on this Airsoft replica. The board we have is a Polestar FCU. The line we have is an IGL, and we'll move on to the externals now. We have a PK3 LCT grip right here, really chunky, I love it. You have to get the thick one for the motor cage. They have a thin one and a thick one. Get the thick one because the motor cage goes in here. That's how it's secured. We have the speed trigger, like I said. We have some more Zentico replica furniture on the charging handle. Let me drop the stock real quick, pull this tab down. Wire stock comes out, that's really cool. Zentico replica charging handle. Believe it or not, it goes over the stock charging handle. Stock one's still in there. Moving along forward on this Airsoft replica toy BB ball slinger, we have the dong. All right, you see this dong right here? The dong, dong, dong. Real wooden furniture, beautiful, by LCT. It replaces this. Ew. Get this plastic out of here. Green, what a color. Top rail section, the gas tube. We have a nice rail segment that goes along here. This is also an LCT product, and that replaces the stock Dookie gas tube. Heavy, not gonna lie, this is heavy. I believe this is a weight saver, even though it's like a solid rail piece, but this thing is heavy. And we have the amp on the end. It's beautiful. Whew. Look at that amplifier. That's no joke. What battery are we using to power our board? It's a Titan 7.4 HPA battery. I'll show you how it fits perfectly in the gas tube. Plugged in the battery, let's hear a little solenoid action. Auto's like for 35 RPS. Oh, Polestar kid whose mom funded the whole build. Call it, boy. All right, guys, so that pretty much wraps up this build. Shout out to AK Boss. You're gonna love this. I can't wait to send it back out to you. If you guys enjoyed this AK build video, please drop a comment down below and let me know. Tell me other platforms that you're curious to see, other tips and tricks and other stuff you want. See you in the field.
The real deal.